Ministry of Finance come up with non-productivity linked bonus to central government employees. Who all are eligible? All central government employees in Group C and non-gazetted employees of Group P comes under this scheme. Who all are not covered by any productivity linked bonus? If you are a central government employee and you are covered by any productivity linked bonus, then you are not eligible. And if you are a central government employee and Group B officer but gazetted officer, then also you are not eligible for this scheme. Okay, the person who is qualifies the first one, he has to be in service on 31st March 2020 and he has to complete 6 months of continuous service in the year 2019-20. This is in case of employees. Similarly, in case of casual labor has to work for 240 days in a year for last 3 years. So for continuous 3 years, 1920, 1819 and 1718, he has to work 240 days in each year. In case of 6 days working days in a week. Similarly, 206 days in a year in case of 5 working days in a week. Okay, then they will get this productivity non-productivity linked bonus. What will you get in case of employee? In case of employee, you will get 30 days of emoluments. Your emoluments are there, no, like a basic pay, DA, and other allowances. That 30 days of your emoluments you will get in the year of 1920 with a maximum of 7,000 rupees. So you will get 7,000 rupees. In this also some calculations are there. I will mention you. 30 days of emoluments will be calculated as below. First, we have to consider average emoluments. Average emoluments means total emoluments for your 12 months divided by 12. Then you will get 1 month emoluments. That 1 month divided by number of days in a month, average number of days. In some months 31 is there, some month 30 is there. So the average comes as to 30.5 fixed by central government. So we'll divide 1 month average emoluments with 30.4 into 30. We'll get 1 day emoluments into 30. Why? Because they given 30 days emoluments. If average emoluments is more than 7,000, then consider 7,000 only. Here I told you, no, the same thing. So first we have to calculate average emoluments and then do this thing. Okay. For average number of emoluments, consider number of months worked if it falls below 12. In some cases, the employee may not work for the whole year, but still he is eligible because he completed 6 months. Then consider number of days in which he worked. Similarly, in case of laborers, 30 days of emoluments for the year 1920 with a maximum of 1200 rupees. The same thing repeats here also, but the only main difference is in case of employees, you will get a maximum of 7,000 rupees. Here, the casual labor will get a maximum of 1200 rupees. Remaining all same, average emoluments calculation and all. If in case that amount comes below 1200, then he will get that amount. If it crosses 1200, he will get only 1200. Okay, from which funds? This there is no separate funds released for this bonus. So if the employee is getting salary from separate funds, the same funds has to be used for this bonus, respective heads of pay and allowances of the employee. Similarly, in budget for the current year sanctioned budget only, we have to utilize these funds to give bonus. Okay, I have prepared one photo like this screenshot. Please have a look about this. I will explain one by one. Who all employees comes under this non-PLB scheme? Okay, comes to employee status and eligibility. The first important thing is everyone has to complete continuous service of at least 6 months in the year 1920. This is the basic rule. Remaining all I will discuss. If for all these things, this is fixed and common thing. Okay, first comes to temporary ad hoc basis. For ad hoc temporary basis, then if there is no break in service, he is eligible. Means 6 months is common. Retirement or expired. Invalidation on medical grounds and pro rata basis for number of months worked. In case the employee is retired or expired during the year of 1920, still he is eligible if the invalidation on medical grounds. For example, an employee is unfit for the job because of medical grounds, then we will give him the bonus. Why? Because we can't, that is not his mistake. And the thing is, if he expires during his service, then also he is eligible for this bonus on pro rata basis. Similarly, when it comes to deputation or foreign service to state government or PSU, eligible in borrowing organization if applicable there. If an employee is sent to some other state for on deputation or something, then if the state government have the same thing, then he is eligible in that state government. Then the state government will pay the amount. Similarly for PSUs, reverted from department or foreign service to state or PSU. If an employee came back from state government or PSU, then the in state also there may be a scheme. Here in central government also the scheme is there. We have to combine both. If he is getting anything, the total should not increase the total maximum of ADAC bonus. Okay, so he has to get at any one place. If he get both the places, the total should not increase the maximum eligibility. Okay, deputation from state or PSU. If an employee came from state government to central government, then the borrowing department has to pay that bonus if he is eligible in borrowing department. But he has to take a no objection from the lending department. Why? Because the lending department may also have the same scheme. So for clarification, we'll get a no objection certificate from them saying that they didn't pay anything as a ADAC bonus. Then we can give in the central government. Superannuated employees re-employed. If an employee is re-employed after superannuation, then this scheme is applicable. But the scheme 6 months validity period is calculated from the date on which he re-employed. So we have to consider the new eligibility only. In case of long leaves, also the employee is eligible because he is getting the salary. But in cases where he is not getting any salary, then he is not eligible. We'll call it as no pay leaves. For example, extraordinary leave and designational leave. These are two cases in which the employee will not get any salary. Extraordinary leave is a leave in which the employee obtains a leave because he don't have any other leaves pending in his account. So he will take that extraordinary leave. In such cases, the government will not pay any salary to him. Similarly, Dyson is a leave in which the employee gets leave because of in his absence without informing to higher authorities. If he is absent, then we'll call it as Dyson leave. In such cases also, the employer will not pay any amount as a salary to the person. So in those two cases, this PLB non-PLB is not applicable. But this if he completes all other conditions, and if this comes as a break in service, then we will give the bonus. Why? Because this EOL and Dyson will not be considered as a break in service. But for eligibility, restrict them. But for to check whether he is having continuous service or not, for that break in period, we will not remove this period. Okay. Contract employees. In case of contract employees also, this is eligible. If they are having DA and interim relief, then at par with employees they will get. But in case of contract employees, but they are not getting DA or interim relief, then also the scheme is eligible, but at par with casual labor. What is the difference? In case of casual labor, they are getting 1200 only maximum. In case of employees, they will get 7000 maximum. That is the difference in case of contract employees. Suspension. If an employee is suspended during his period of 1920, then whether he is eligible for this scheme, whether he will get bonus or not, yes, he is eligible only in case where he is getting salary for the suspension period. Okay, if he is not getting any salary for the suspension period, he will not get this bonus. Sometimes after suspension, the person can the employer may take him back with arrears. We will call it as the suspension period also will give salary. In such cases, we will give this bonus too. Okay, transferred by departmental or open competitive exam. An employee is there, he got another job in another organization. Then by writing a departmental exam or some other competitive exam, then also this scheme is applicable. But the organization in which he worked on 31st March has to pay the amount. Okay, if a person got job in 1920, he shifted to that job. But in 31st March 31st March 2020, if he works in the first organization, the first organization has to pay the bonus to him, even he is working in the new organization. Okay. Similarly, transfer to productivity linked bonus organization. If he is working here in central government, but he shifted to some post office or railway because he got the job there, then consider the whole period and calculate the non-productivity linked bonus and deduct the amount for which he get productivity linked bonus. Why? Because we should not pay double time. So we'll give any one. So productivity non-productivity linked bonus will give. If any excess he got as a productivity linked bonus, we'll deduct that amount and give the balance. In case of part-time employees, as they are not employees to us, we will not. This is not scheme is not eligible at all. Okay, total A to K all are eligible except L. Okay, with some restrictions. Please have a look at this. I have prepared this. This will be very useful for you. Next, who all casual labor comes under this scheme? Okay, we discussed about the employees previously. Now we'll discuss about labor. Okay, 240 or 260 days in a year in last 3 years, as I already mentioned. Here, the employee is working in casual labor is working in different offices during the last 3 years. Then he is eligible or not? Yes, he is eligible. Then we have to consider the 3 years. In 3 years, take account in whether he completed 240 days or not in each year and give him bonus, irrespective of whether he is working in a single office or he is working in 3 offices. But the basic thing is, if he is getting any bonus or ex gratia or other incentives in any office, then that period you please remove and recalculate. Okay. So if he is working in an organization and that organization is not giving any bonus, ex gratia or other incentives, then calculate those number of days only. Okay, that casual labor is not worked on 31st March 2020, is not in service, whether this scheme is applicable or not. Yes, this is applicable. Why? Because this 31st March 2020 is applicable for the employees only, not for casual labor. So even he is not working on this date, he is eligible. If regularized in the last year 1920 but not eligible for employee ad hoc bonus, then consider this period as casual labor for counting of number of days. Okay, now a casual labor is there. In 1920 he got regularized, but he didn't complete 6 months of service. So he will not get ad hoc bonus. Why? Because the employer is saying that you didn't complete 6 months of continuous service, so I'm not giving you the ad hoc bonus. What the labor has to do? He is having one option, that is, he has to see whether last 2 years he completed 240 days or not. He will show to the employer saying that I completed 240 days in last 2 years, and this year also if I am a casual labor I would have completed this 240 days also. Then overall 3 years he may complete that if he is not regularized. So with that reason the employer has to satisfy and he has to give casual labor non-productivity linked bonus, but he will get only 1200 rupees maximum, but not at par with employee. Okay, I hope you understand everything. If you have any doubts, please ask in comment section. If you have any suggestions, always welcome. Please like and subscribe. Thank you, viewers. Ramji.